Hi, welcome to this video. And today I want to talk about something that happens when we have an unhealthy relationship with ourselves. Something which is, with something that lives on surface of it. जैसे कि whether you are aware of it or not, that do I have an unhealthy relationship with myself, or do I have a healthy one? How do you know? So the thing that I'm going to talk about, it is going to help you find out or make out that okay, I do have an unhealthy relationship. Because when I say having an unhealthy relationship with yourself, it is something that is very a concept thing. So वो हमारे core में होता है. It is the reason why a lot of things are happening in my life. So you will not on the surface realize कि हाँ I have an unhealthy relationship with myself unless I list down the symptoms. One of which is that it matters to me what other people say of me. Like it really affects me, uh, that what comments or opinions people have about me, or going like what people have to say about me, it matters to me. So what people are commenting on me, or the opinion that they hold of me, वो तो एक ऊपर की बात है. I would also be affected by what people think of me, or the kind of image they have of me in their head. So this is one of the symptom, or one of the things that happen when you have an unhealthy relationship with yourself. Just one of it. There are lots of it. But today we are going to specifically talk about this one thing. So when I talk about it, that okay, what happens, and we are also going to explore why it happens, what is happening beneath it, or what is in my system that makes me, or that makes me give so much importance to others' words, that when somebody thinks negatively of me, or when somebody does not like me, or they do not think of me in a good way, it really affects me, it really matters to me, it just shakes up my entire world. That why it happens. And then yeah, we are also going to talk about the solution part, that what needs to happen and how do we get there. Okay, so let us start. So first of all, we are going to start with okay, what is happening here. So यहाँ पर होता क्या है, see, how you know that okay, I have an unhealthy relationship, or this is happening with me. So one thing to understand is that it matters to me what other people say of me, what opinion they hold of me, or what they think of me. Or how do you know that it matters to me? That when if somebody is misunderstanding me, or if somebody does not look at me in a good light, or if somebody does not think of me in a good way, or if somebody does not just like me, and I can sense it, I know that this person does not like me, or they do not think that I'm good enough, or they don't think that I'm capable enough, uh, and all these things, it is going to affect me, it is going to matter to me. ठीक है. Now I'm not saying कि बिल्कुल फ़र्क नहीं पड़ना चाहिए, like how somebody is thinking of us or what they are telling us, हमें बिल्कुल फ़र्क नहीं पड़ना चाहिए in ideal case, ऐसा नहीं है. But the problem is that in this case it is happening it is happening for very small things also. Like अगर if I'm able to sense that somebody does not think of me in a good way, or if people are very casually throwing some comments towards me, or if they are just saying something casually, or very randomly to me, or if I know that there's somebody, or if I know that there's somebody who does not really think good of me, or they do not have good intentions of me, and they again do not like me, they do not think that I'm good enough, or they do not think that I'm a good person, or they don't like me. In ideal case, I should know, or I should not care about their opinion, because I know that they don't hold good intention of me. But in this case, when I have an unhealthy relationship with myself, it is going to impact me a lot, right? To the point where my entire focus will come to this thing, that I will be overthinking about them. I will try to solve it, that okay, how do I make this person like me, how do I change my image in their head, how do I change their view about my own self. ठीक है. तो ये सब होने लगता है. So how do we know that it is problematic, or how do we know that this thing that is happening with me, it needs to be different, that when it is happening, that every small thing, every little thing that people have to say about me, or when I can sense that these people does not think of me in a good way, or they don't think that I'm capable enough, I'm good enough, it is really affecting me, to the point that I'm just thinking about that. I'm trying to solve it in my head. I'm trying to find out ways through which I can change their opinion of me. And this is how you know that it is something that I need to work upon, and I need to solve, because it is not helping me, because it's like I'm giving my energy to something first I have no control over, and second, no, see, if somebody does not have good intention for me, no matter what I do, no matter how good of a person I am in real life, uh, they will never be satisfied with me, because they have just made a decision that they don't like me, and they don't have good intentions of me, right? So यहाँ it becomes a problem, because now, without caring about all these things, I just have one goal in my head, that I want people to think good of me, and I only want to receive good comments from other people. I only want to see other people think and feel, good of me. I truly want other people to have a very good image of me. I truly want other people to like me, to accept me. Now there's a reason why this desire sits in my system, in me. Or as we are talking about it, that that somewhere in my head I want other people to like me, ये ऐसे हमें clear नहीं होगा, ऐसा हमारी एजेंडा नहीं है. But how do you know that it is there? Because when you realize, or when you sense that this person does not think good of me, or this person, I can feel it, that this person thinks that I'm not good enough. When you have sensed it, you will try, you will see, you will notice in yourself that it is not okay with you, that you are not able to let go of that comment, that you're not able to accept that okay, people can think of me anyway, like it is to them, it is coming from the system, that we all can have different opinions about each other or about a person. So it is very hard for me to accept this. It almost feels like that it is my job to change their opinion of me, because I care about what other people think of me. It matters to me what they think of me. And what's the problem with this? That it's not just one or two people that we're talking about here. Okay? It's about almost every person I meet, or every person who has a space in my life, who I share my days with. People at my workspace, people in my school or college, or people in my around me in my locality, people I hang out with, my friends, my family, even those people. So now what is happening कि अब एक दो लोगों की बात नहीं है. So it's about, there could be 30 people, 40 people, 50 people in my circle, and now it's my job, it has become my job to take care of how they are thinking of me, how they are seeing me, which is a very big job, because now I'm not just concerned about how one person is thinking of me. It's like I have taken up the job कि I'm going to manage how these 40 or 50 set of people are thinking of me. So which is a very heavy job to take on. So now what is happening, and यहाँ से when I'm thinking about all of this thing, or when I've taken up this job, see where my energy is going. So I am, instead of thinking about myself, instead of investing my energy into what matters to me, my life goals, where is my energy going? My energy is going into thinking what these 40 people are thinking of me, what matters to them, what will I do that they will start to think good of me, how can I change my image in their head. So all these things are happening. So my energy, in a way, my energy is being wasted, and I'm not even realizing it, right? So now, to change, or to make these people think good of me, or to make them like me, accept me, and validate me, what I end up doing is that I try my best to become perfect, or to establish a perfect image of myself in these people's head, right? And always notice it is these people, not one person. अगर one person होता भी तो I could have found out कि what is perfect for them, how can I impress them. But here it is a set of people. So what I'm doing, I am trying to always modify myself. I'm always trying to change into the person, or I'm always trying to seek that perfection. That okay, I have to appear perfect to these people, so that, because for me in my head, it is a connection that if I become perfect, I will be good enough, and only when I will be good enough, these people will like me, accept me, and they will think good of me. So now, because I have taken up the job, that it is my job to make these people think good of me, because it matters to me what they think of me. And I'm going to talk about this thing as well, that why do I care so much about what other people have to say of me, or why does it affect me so much when they do not think good of me. We're going to talk about it. But right now what's happening, I will be trying to seek that perfection. I will try to build a very perfect image of myself in these people's head, as a result of which I'm going to be highly self-conscious when I'm out there in these people's head. Because I'm going to hide who I am authentically. I'm going to hide my true self and put up an act, and and try to build a very perfect image of myself, which in reality ends up actually stops me from connecting with anybody in reality, in real sense, in true sense, because of which no genuine relationship or connection ever happens. जिसकी वजह से my ability to form real connection, to my ability to find those people who are truly going to like me for who I am, I'm never going to find them. Because when I start to hide my real self, and when I start trying to establish a perfect image of myself, or when I try to be my perfect self, when I try to hide my real self of who I am, and I build a goal that I have to be perfect, I have to look perfect, I have to make other people think that I'm perfect, which means that I always have to be prepared, I always have to be on guard, I need to know everything, I need to have answer to every question, I need to be perfect. When I'm doing this, what I'm also doing is that I'm not allowing those people who who would have actually connected with me, who would have actually liked who I am in true sense, which would have resulted me into having genuine connection and relationship in life. I'm also not allowing these people to come to me, to come into my life. So this is what is happening. I will try to become perfect, to build a perfect image of myself in others head, because of which what is happening, I'm going to over expect from myself, because now I have built an ideal self in my head, an ideal image in my head, that this is who I need to be, a perfect self, a self who never makes mistakes. So I never make mistake. I'm flawless. I know everything. I'm just perfect. I speak fluently. No mistake. I'm just a perfect person in the world. So this is an image that I have built in my head. I will be over expecting from myself. मतलब मैं हमेशा खुद से over expect करूँगी that I never make any mistake. I'm flawless. If I'm walking the best manner possible. If I'm dancing in a very professional way. So I'm at the top in every area. ठीक है. So ये rules मैंने खुद के लिए ही बनाए हैं. I have made these rules for myself, and I'm thinking that it is necessary. It needs to be there. But in reality, the truth is different. Other people have not come to me and asked me to do all of this to impress them. It is all inside my head. I have made it a goal because it is important to me that I need other people to like me. So now let's uncover this thing, that okay, why it matters to me. So before we go to that area, I want you to again look back and notice how this is not helping me, how it is making me hide my real self, become self-conscious, be very careful when I'm other people, which is a waste of a lot of energy. I'm not able to be myself. I'm rejecting those real healthy people who would have loved to connect with me, who would have established such a healthy and good relationship with me, where I would have really felt connected and belonged. So I'm losing healthy relationships. I'm losing my authentic self. I'm not allowing myself to be myself, and I'm over expecting myself. And because there's over expectation, I somewhere design myself to be that perfect self, to become that ideal self. Every time I'm not being that person, I am going harsh on my own self. There's this critical voice that is going against me. I'm going to talk to myself, very negatively. I'm going to tell myself things like good for nothing, can't do anything, all these things. So now let's come back to this. Let's come back to this one question: why all of this is happening? Like, why does it matter to me so much what other people think of me, how they think of me, and why is it a problem for me if some people do not like me, or if they think of me in a negative sense? So all of this comes down to this one thing, that it matters to me what other people think of me, or I somewhere have this desire that I want other people to like me and accept me and validate me, because I don't like myself, I don't accept myself, I don't have that validation in my own self, I don't validate my own self. Okay, so the truth is that I want other people to think good of me, because deep within, the way I think and feel about my own self is not good. It is not in a healthy sense, it is not in a positive sense, which is the core of having a healthy relationship with myself. Matlab, all of this is happening, the symptom that I seek acceptance from other people. It exists because my ability to accept myself is not there. I do not accept myself there, or I have never felt that acceptance coming from people who mattered to me, or I have never felt accepted in myself. That is why even today I crave that acceptance. And now when that acceptance is not in my system, or when I have failed to have it from places where it could have come, or it should have come in my early life, now even though I do not have that acceptance for a factor inside myself, the need will always be there. So it is an unmet or unfulfilled need in me. So my body, my system will try to fulfill it. And now what is the way? It seeks to other people, and it happens very subconsciously. It's not very out clear. ये जो loop है, ये जो formula है, it is not very clear in my head. If I'm trying to please other people, it is because I want to feel belonged, I want to feel accepted, and I want to feel accepted because I never felt accepted in myself. I never had those people. I never had my caregivers, or people who I loved or who I wanted love from, accept me or made me feel accepted. That we accept you just as you are good enough, you are valuable, you matter, you are so much worthy, we care about you. So because it did not come to me, or because I did not feel accepted early in my life, and I grew up to be a person where I strongly feel that I am unaccepted, like I am unacceptable, I'm not worthy enough, I'm not valuable enough. But my system will always try to fulfill that need. So जब वो fulfillment नहीं है, तो it will turn to outside world, that let me get that fulfillment from other people. And you would notice that when somebody think good of me, when we find a temporary success, achievement in building a perfect image in somebody's head. When I'm able to successfully make somebody think good of me, and when they give me a good feedback, you will notice that it makes me feel so good in myself. So at the end, we are chasing that good feeling, that I want to feel good in myself, I want to feel good about my own self. But here we are depending on other people, क्योंकि हमारा वो जो फैक्टर है वो कहाँ से आ रहा है, वो सोर्स क्या बन गया, अब वो अदर पीपल बन गए. बट वी कैन नेवर रिलाई ऑन दैट, बिकॉज अदर पीपल में तो इट्स ऑलवेज वॉलेटाइल, इट कैन ऑलवेज चेंज. वो दूसरा इंसान कभी भी बदल सकता है. दे कैन गेट आउट ऑफ अ लाइफ एनी टाइम. अ पीपल कैन चेंज देयर माइंड एनी टाइम. वी कैन नेवर रिलाई. एंड हु आर दोज पीपल? people are going to be of n number, right? आज 10 हैं, कल 2 हो जाएंगे. So it's like I'm depending on outside world to feel good about my own self, which is highly unreliable. वो highly volatile. आज है, कल नहीं होगा. That is why you would notice that when we are doing this, when we are in this, our emotional health is so much dependent on other people. So if other people are thinking good of me, I've achieved something, things are going good in my external life, I'm feeling highly good about my own self. But if things have gone upside down, if I made a mistake, if I failed to achieve something, and if people are looking at me a certain way, if people do not think of me as a winner, now it starts to affect me. Now I'm not saying that there's this position where it will just not affect you, but it's about intensity. वो किस intensity में. और इस केस में क्या होगा, that the moment other people's image or feedback or opinion of me changes to negative, I lose it all. I just turn against my own self. तो मेरा जो good factor about my own self, the only source is outside, but जो negative source है, where I'm cursing myself, where I am hating myself, where I'm just criticizing myself, where I'm being harsh on myself, the source is inside me. So मेरे अंदर का source क्या है? That is more important. Because when other people leave, what is inside me? What am I left with? The core, which is right now in this case, is unhealthy. So the voice inside me, the core, how is my core? Very important thing when we are talking about having a healthy relationship, having an unhealthy relationship with myself. Here the core is unhealthy. मतलब मेरे अंदर क्या dominant है? That self criticism talk, that negative self talk वाला factor. So when people will leave, when people also turn negative against me, what will I come back to? What is inside me? A very unhealthy core, which is already filled with so much negative beliefs about my own self. So all those beliefs will start to surface up. I'm good for nothing. There was a reason why I was not accepted, because I just do not have any value. I'm not worthy enough, and all these things will start playing in my head, which does not help. So, meaning to say, when we come to the bottom of it, what is deep within? Why all of these things are happening? It comes down that I do not think and feel good about my own self. That is why all of this is happening. That is why I want to feel accepted, because I do not have that acceptance in my own self. So I want acceptance. Now I want acceptance. So I'm depending on other people. Depending on other people, matlab I have to be perfect to have their validation, to have their acceptance, to have them think good of me. So all of these things come down to what? One factor. It is all happening because I don't think and feel good about my own self. Something you can work upon. So again, the power lies in you. So what is the solution? When it comes to solution, again, we work on the factor or on that core part that, okay, if I don't think and feel good about my own self, what is the reason? So we do the inner work so that we are able to go from this place where we are not thinking good, where I dominantly do not think and feel good about my own self, to a place where I start to understand myself, where I forgive myself, where I start to accept who I am. I start to look at myself differently. So अभी तक यहाँ पर क्या है ना, I'm holding so much anger against my own self. I genuinely do not like who I am. But here, when we do the inner work, when we cover this journey, when we come from a space where I have an unhealthy core, I have an unhealthy relationship with my own self, to a point where I have a healthy relationship with my own self, I start to understand myself. I truly start to believe, or I truly start to, I truly come to this conclusion that I always deserved love, and which means that even today I deserve love. मतलब मेरा जो inner voice है, the way I talk to myself, it is all going to change. And how do we cover this journey? Through inner work. So basically, you find yourself a space, like a coaching space or a therapy space, where you can talk about what is inside you, that if you do not feel good about your own self, why it happened. So that we can do the inner work, we can work on your thoughts and feelings, so that you can build a healthy relationship with yourself, so that you can feel good in your own self, you can feel worthy enough in your own self. A very beautiful work, which I believe all of us deserve, because all of us deserve to live a beautiful life, and all of us deserve to feel beautiful and worthy enough, because we all are. It's just a matter of, do I believe into it, or what do I believe about my own self. Alright guys, so this is I'll keep it till here. I have made a video on this topic, a very in-depth explanation video where I'm explaining the same things with the diagram. I'll put the description in the description box. I'll put that link in the description box. You can watch that video, and if you have made a decision, you want to do this work, you want to experience a coaching session of and explore how it can help you, go ahead, book a session with me. My first clarity calls are free. All you have to do is fetch my WhatsApp number from description or the comment and DM me session, and I'll see you in this session. Alright, bye bye.